autonomous drones are not going to replace autonomous cars. Autonomous drones are going to replace the drill, right? The hammer. It's going to be a tool, a working tool that everyone can use. And this is why there's so much potential for this industry. It's going to affect everything.
You're listening to the Drone Radio Show podcast, the show about drones and the people who use them for business, fun, and research. Hosted by Randy Goers.
Hello, everyone. This is Randy Goers, and welcome to the Drone Radio Show podcast, episode 123. How can autonomous drones create value? If you ask today's guest, he'd say by solving customer problems in the simplest manner possible. Guy Cherni is an entrepreneur and the Chief Marketing Officer for Atlas Dynamics, a Latvian-based technology company and leading provider of fully autonomous drone-based solutions for professional users. With its proprietary technology, the company creates top-tier drone-based solutions that are accessible and seamless to use, address common problems, and simplify everyday tasks. In August, the company announced it had raised $8 million to introduce its drone solutions into the North American market. Guy is here to talk about Atlas Dynamics and its new Atlas Pro drone. He'll also talk about the North American market for drones compared to other world regions, and he'll share with us why the company's focus on delivering autonomous end-to-end customer solutions is the primary driving force behind the company's success. Let's pick up the interview where Guy explains how he became part of Atlas Dynamics.
So as you know, the Israeli tech scene is one of the most active in the world. I've been part of this scene for almost a decade now, both as a startup founder, investor, and a founder of entrepreneurial incubators. I've also done some social entrepreneurship projects in Ethiopia and Rwanda, and spent some time in China learning the hardware and manufacturing world as well. And I joined Atlas early on to bring our vision to life, which is to unleash the amazing potential of drones, turning UAVs into the everyday working tool that they should be for the professionals.
Did you have any experience with drones before you joined Atlas?
No, I didn't. I had experience with startups and with hardware, but drones were new to me when we started. I knew and I understood the potential of drones, but I never dealt with them before we started the company.
How long has Atlas Dynamics been in business?
The company was founded in 2015 by Ivan Tolchinsky and Igor Zhidanev. Both are expert aeronautical engineers with years of experience in the aerospace and satellite industries. They know each other for many years. Igor was actually Ivan's instructor in Model Airplane Club many years ago. In 2015, they reconnected after many years in order to build the best drone ever. That was after they were pretty disappointed with everything else that was on the market, product with lousy aeronautics and even worse platform. And they built the first prototype, and that was just for fun. And after they built the prototype, they partnered with Omri Cherni. He was super excited about the possibilities of drones, about the drone they built. And he joined them, and he brought with him over 10 years of business and investments experience in Asia and Israel. Later on, Omri brought me. I joined the team after leaving a previous startup I had in the field of robotics. The field of drone was super young, and I was passionate about taking it to the professional industries and using it to generate value in an efficient, fast, and safe way. And that was a great fit. The company started developing and fundraising in Asia, creating strategic partnerships with big players in the drone and consumer market, and paving our way to the position and know-how we had to have in order to fulfill our vision.
Your newest product is called the Atlas Pro. Can you tell us about it?
The Atlas Pro is a full solution that is fully in-house developed. Nothing is off the shelf. Everything is manufactured according to our specs. This is pretty different from the rest of the fragmented drone market, that most of it is built on a do-it-yourself approach, but I'll not get into it now. More about our solution. So our full solution achieves unprecedented capabilities, such as longer flight time, wider range, faster speed, and greater altitude than any of the other players in this market. It has versatile sensors and payloads to serve key markets, including inspection, security, first response, precision agriculture, delivery, and more, all in the same drone platform. Now, this full solution is composed of our unique drone platform, the Atlas Pro, basically our drone, that is built in a tricopter aeronautical design. It's made fully out of carbon fiber, has a smart lithium silicon battery, which I think we're probably one of the first companies in the world to use this technology. And all of the followings allows for much better efficiency. 55 minutes of flight time, 50 kilometers in range. It's very durable, has the ability to work in extreme weather. Really, it's pretty amazing drone. Now, of course, the solution also has a ground station and versatile exchangeable payloads that fits different application. And lastly, it has our autonomous operating system and the Nest smart docking station for behind line of sight scenarios. Now, in regards to autonomous, it's important to understand that automation is not a goal. Automation is a means to an end. It's making drones accessible in the matter of operation and maximizing execution. It enables us to provide a product with extreme performance that could be operated by every professional. As I said, our mission is to bring aerospace technology to the masses. We believe the drone should become an accessible everyday tool that optimizes society time and money while saving life, and automation is basically a key factor in this process.
What makes your drone stand out from the rest of the other platforms?
We can get into features. I'm going to talk about it maybe in a second, but I think that what is interesting or what is really important to understand about our drone is that we basically build everything according to the belief that everything should be built in an aeronautic approach. Right? Drones are super sophisticated tools, aeronautical tools, and you can't just buy things off the shelf and patch them together into a solution. You need to build something that is completely unique. And you can see it starting from how our drone looks. Our drone is tricopter, unlike the rest of the market, which most of it is quadcopter or more. And the reason that other companies are doing that is because it's easier. You have an operating system for the quadcopter, the navigation is easier, it's more stable, but the efficiency is much lower. Now, we come from an approach of creating an aerospace tool, an aerospace machine, and tricopter is much better in everything that have to do with efficiency and everything that have to do with agility and speed. Now, taking that and innovating also in the fields of materials, right? Using carbon not only like as carbon tubes that you can buy off the shelf. We innovate in the field of manufacturing carbon, so we could create our platforms in mass manufacturing. In the field of batteries, and all of it in order to create much better efficiency. Now, you can see this efficiency with the specs that we present. 55 minutes, 50 kilometers in range, weather resistant that is unprecedented to other companies. We can work in rain, in strong winds. And the full solution also includes the drone station, which allows for BVLOS operation from everywhere and anywhere.
Tell us more about the docking station.
We created an amazing docking station that enables the Atlas Pro to be safe and sound inside, protected with its battery, with 3 batteries inside it, and a robotic arm that can change it. It's open, let the drone out, the drone can go do its business and come back. It's very light and very easy to move from place to place if needed. It could be on a roof of a car and on the roof of a house and in the field. It could be charged. So if it doesn't have electricity for a few hours, it can still operate. I think that this is definitely the future of behind line of sight operation, and the future have to look the way we design it. It's the most efficient and accessible way to use BVLOS stations.
You mentioned that autonomy is not the answer. It's just a means to get you to where you need to go. But people define autonomy in a variety of ways. So could you tell us how Atlas Dynamics defines autonomy?
When we look at autonomous, and as I said earlier, and you said, it's a means to an end, and the end is to get more people and more professional to be able to use drones. Now, drones are hard. Drones are hard to control. The lifespan of a drone today, a professional drone that people are using by themselves, is few weeks because it's hard to control them. Most companies today create drones that are very sophisticated to control. Now, automation allows for everyone to control drone or for everyone to use drones in order to complete mission in the best way possible. Now, how we define automation? Automation is that you can easily enter a pre-planned program and the drone can just do the job by itself. This is why we also create the nest, the drone station, that allows the drone to just sit where it needs to be, either if it's in behind line of sight distinct location, or even if it's in your factory, a place where the drone can just fly from, do the round around the factory and go back. For us, the idea of automation is to get the drone to do its job as easy as possible. And this is how we approach this issue.
How easy is it to actually use?
You can either use our iPad or a Toughbook that we provide. And in principle, we took off all the sticks and everything that makes you feel as if you're flying an F-16. Drone shouldn't feel as if you're flying a plane. It should be as simple as possible. And in that aspect, it's easy as flying a consumer drone.
What industries has the Atlas Pro been designed to best serve?
In general, we started from the idea of dealing with inspections. And I think we fit best for inspections, security. We're also addressing now with several partners the fields of precision agriculture, as I said earlier, and construction, 3D modeling. And we also have the ability for delivery up to 1 kilogram for around 40 kilometers.
I know it's early, but what's been the interest in the product?
We get numerous emails from people who are curious about the possibilities, about how they can use it, about our SDK that we're going to release together with the drone for people to use, about the scenarios that we provide. And I think that generally it's because people are looking for a good platform that they can use for multiple scenarios. And this is something that is in lack in the market today. And we're definitely looking forward to providing our products to the industries that we're in touch with and to distributors that approach us and getting this product to market and fulfill their wishes.
I find it interesting that Atlas Dynamics is based in Latvia because Latvia isn't typically mentioned as a drone center. What's the connection with Latvia and how did the company come to be based there?
So regarding Latvia, it's actually pretty interesting because Latvia is actually a great place for aerospace. It used to be the place for aviation in the time of the USSR. Both Antonov and Tupolev were developed in the Baltic area. It has great universities for aerospace and great engineers. It's in the EU, which makes it even better in regards to business and grants. And Latvia is also the biggest country in the Baltic with the least amount of people, which leaves a lot of space for testing aviation. So for us, it was pretty simple to choose Latvia to operate.
What's the ecosystem like in Latvia?
I would say few companies, and it's not a big ecosystem in the field of drones, but it's a great place for us to operate from.
How would you describe the world market for drones? And particularly, how does the North American market compare?
When you look at the market for drones, you see basically 4 markets. You have the US, which has a very clear regulation that has been built. You have Europe that has different regulations following the US, but each country has a different regulation. You have countries that have great regulations, like Poland, Singapore. You have countries with very, very bad regulation. Then you have countries without regulation. The US is a great market in that aspect that the regulation is pretty clear and is similar to all states. The regulation is advancing toward professional drones. We believe, like others, that as the regulation goes toward us, it will probably be less permitting for prosumer drones, but the FAA allowing now for EVLOS much more easily, providing waivers for behind line of sight in certain scenarios. So it's a great market to be operated in. As I said, it's similar in each state, Part 107, etc. Europe is also a great market. The problem with Europe is that each country has a different regulation, and it's reflected in many aspects, like which antennas you can operate and what frequency you can use. Every country is different, then you need to do adjustment to each one. But Europe is not far behind. Part of it is because they're taking and copy regulation from the US. And also, again, Europe has great industries that you can serve, and they have amazing grants. Poland in specific is a great hub for drone as well. So both markets are very exciting for us. But in that aspect, I just want to add, the US is a great opportunity, Europe is a great opportunity, and everywhere else, because I think we're just scratching the surface of how drones and aerospace technology will affect and improve our lives. And it will happen everywhere eventually.
In your opinion, what have been some of the greatest challenges in bringing the company to this point?
So this is a great question. I think that I can identify 3 big challenges that we recognize when we look at this industry. The first is technology. The second is hardware manufacturing in China. And the third is educating the market. So the first one is technology, and by that I mean aerospace technology. There's a big challenge in developing real aerospace technology. You have to have all the know-hows and skill set in order to do that. As I see it, this is also Atlas' biggest comparative advantage, the knowledge and capabilities of our founders and team. And we have a DNA of excellence. We want to create amazing products, and we are passionate about simplifying aerospace technology and bring it to the mass. And that means a lot about how we work. We're trying to innovate in every aspect that we deal with, in aeronautical shapes and design, complex material like carbon and mass manufacturing of small pieces of it, smart batteries, etc. We're creating highly efficient drones, and that doesn't happen by mistake. It's happened because we are an aerospace company, not a drone company. Drones are just the beginning. We're also going to expose our new fixed wing and several other products in 2018. The fixed wing is, it's the next generation UAV. Basically, it could go to a distance of hundreds of kilometers, few hours in the air, and can provide great missions in various aspects. Now, the second challenge is creating quality hardware in mass manufacturing China. It is where most companies fail. Basically, because many believe that you can just take a plane to China, leave a big check on the table, and get your drones a few months later. It doesn't work that way. We got into China with the know-how for the aerospace design that we want and the know-how for embedded hardware. We got there with the relevant know-hows of manufacturing that we did in small scale in Latvia before. We got there with great manufacturing partners. And even then, eventually, we created everything by ourselves, from molding design to testing equipment. Right? China is an amazing place if you know what you're doing. And this is something that every entrepreneur in the field of drones and in the field of hardware in general must understand. By the way, this is one of the reasons that crowdfunding drones tend to fail. But this is for another time, because I can talk about crowdfunding failure for another hour. Now, the third challenge is educating the market. And I think that this is also the biggest challenge and the biggest opportunity. Every industry need to understand that drones could solve some of their problems and generate huge amount of value to them while keeping the workforce safe on solid ground. Drones are the working tool of the future, maybe the working tool of the present. And I can say in that aspect that we are looking to learn more about problems and work together with industries about how we can assist with solving their problems using our technology. Eventually, it's all about data. We have service design team that is dedicated to designing drone solution with the companies that we work with in order to provide them with this valuable data for their businesses. And eventually, every business needs data, and drones are here to become part of their toolkit. I mean, autonomous drones are not going to replace autonomous cars. Autonomous drones are going to replace the drill, right? The hammer. It's going to be a tool, a working tool that everyone can use. And this is why there's so much potential for this industry. It's going to affect everything.
The industry seems to be moving away from producing just drones to delivering end-to-end solutions. Can you talk about Atlas Dynamics' approach to providing these types of solutions?
All right, so I think I can divide the answer to two. So how the product can fit different industries and how we understand what is the solution that we should create or we should tailor-made to our customers. All right, how we are good for or how we fit different industries, it's in the DNA of the product, right? It's a very accessible product with unprecedented capabilities that can work in extreme conditions, and you can change the payloads as easy as you change a USB card. Basically, what it means is that you can use it both from our drone station. It can just be in a factory going, do the patrol and go back. It can be in the back of your car when you're driving as a police officer from a scene to a different scene. And it could be in your car if you're driving from one electricity tower to another. It's small, it's light, it's weigh 900 grams, flexible, and basically can fit every mission. But the more interesting question is, how do you understand what the mission is? Right? Today we're talking about a lot of things that a lot of other people are talking about, right? You have inspection, you have agriculture, but you learn so much by just partnering with companies and learning their problems, right? They don't know that they can use drones for their problems. And maybe you don't know about their problems. I mean, one example that we had a customer that came to us with a problem. He asked if we can, drive data using a specific sensor that fits with the data transmitter that he had. We didn't thought about it as a problem, but once we realized it, we know we could provide it. Now, this is why what I said about our service design team. We believe in the fact that we need to get into the clients, into the companies that we work with, learn their problems with people from within the companies that know the problems, know them for real, know exactly where the pain points are, and then see how we can do it in a one-day workshop, understand exactly how we can fit our product to their needs in regards to sensors, in regard to operation. And this is our approach. And this is why we're so eager to learn about more problems. I mean, we used to say in the startup world, right? You have a problem, and that is something that one person have, and then you have an amazing problem that a lot of people have. So we're looking to learn about amazing problems that we could solve together with partners, together with companies, in order to provide for all the industry.
What type of person or skills does it require to define the best business solution for clients in this market?
So I think that like in every workshop for innovation, I used to work with a lot of people about innovation, about new ideas and startups. Eventually it has to come from both sides, right? Both ends need to work together, and the people from the company that understand that they have problems, they need someone to guide them in the process in order for them to realize that this is something that they should share, that's something that might be relevant. So they need to, first of all, learn a little bit more about what the drones could do. And then the problem that they raise need to, of course, be with in the same room with people that comes from the company, both from the tech fields and both from the business direction. It's a complete process that we do together, raising the problems, understanding whether solving them will be beneficial and in what aspect to the person that are doing them. But again, this is something that I can talk about a lot.
What advice or lessons learned would you offer to other entrepreneurs who are trying to nurture a company through this industry?
First of all, I want to say that, we are a young company, right? And we're still building ourselves. And we're eager to learn by ourselves from other people. And in that aspect, I think that this podcast is a great tool to learn about the industry. And it's an amazing tool, and happy to participate in it. I'm happy to learn from it. Now, staying, modest while speaking about lessons, I think that the lesson I can share about this industry is that, or the lesson that, someone need to learn about the industry is that the structure of the drone ecosystem, which entrepreneurs need to understand that this structure doesn't really exist yet. Means once you get into this industry, you understand how fragmented it is. Many companies are trying to make small pieces of solution. And in general, most company doesn't have an efficient product eventually. The reason, as I said earlier, is that you can't just go to China and ask for someone to build you a drone. And you can't just patch few products together and expect to get an effective and efficient solution. Another thing is the aspect that you can't just buy things. I mean, there's no supply chain today that fits all drones. I mean, each piece of equipment needs to fit exactly with what you're doing, the size and the range and the frequency and the regulation. So I think that the most important thing is that you need to understand that you're going to have to do a lot of things, if not everything, by yourself. Eventually, we need to remember, and I say to myself basically every morning when I get up, hardware is hard and drones are harder. Right? You need to have all the skill set and know-how, and you still need to make partners as you go. I mean, there's no shortcuts in this industry. You need to make everything by yourself, and it needs to be valuable, right? The only way to grow in this field is by providing real value. The fact that we make partners and that companies approach us for the collaboration signals me that we're on the right direction. But as I said before, we're still a startup, and we're looking to partner with other companies and players in the industry that want to gain from our drone technology.
Is there anything about the Atlas Pro that we didn't talk about that we should?
The most important thing I can tell you is that what we do today is just the tip of the iceberg. Right? There are so many things we can accomplish. And as a company that loves collaboration, feel free to approach me in everything you think about, right? We want to partner with you in order to fulfill our vision. And this vision is to unleash drone potential, right? If you have a business that can benefit from the drone industry, if you're a distributor of drones, if you're a software provider that presents a disruptive idea for a new killer application, if you're an engineer or designer, salesperson or marketing experts, I mean, especially in Europe, right? Engineers in Europe definitely approach us. We want to learn about problems and how we can solve them, and we want to do it with you. Think about everything we can achieve together.
And my final question, Guy, what has this whole experience been like for you?
I think that in general, right, we're living in exciting times, right? We're living in an era where you can make things and make a difference and disrupt industries that until few years ago were basically belonged to the government. And I think that the ability to be part of an aerospace company with really amazing people that I learn every day so much from them, and together approaching this industry that was not disrupted for so many years and bringing new innovation that is not just disrupting, but can really change people's lives. As and I said earlier, right? We're not going to replace the autonomous car with autonomous drones, right? We're going to replace the drill, right? Think about the options, think about the opportunities, think about what we can make or what we can create for people. And it's excites me, and I'm proud to be part of it. And I'm proud to work with extraordinary people that create real innovation, every day, every night. And, I'm humbled. I'm humbled to work with them. This is how I feel.
That's it for episode 123 of the Drone Radio Show. I hope you enjoyed hearing from Guy Cherni of Atlas Dynamics. I want to thank Guy for taking the time to speak with me. If you want to learn more about Atlas Dynamics or want to connect with Guy, check out the website at atlasdynamics.eu. If you like the Drone Radio Show, please consider supporting the podcast with a small donation. The content is always free, but for as little as $1 per month, you can help defray the costs of production. To donate, go to patreon.com/Drone Radio Show. Thanks for listening. Your support means a lot to me, and I hope you'll listen to more episodes of the Drone Radio Show podcast to hear how others are using drones for business, fun, and research. For the Drone Radio Show, I'm Randy Gores.
This has been the Drone Radio Show podcast. More information on today's show can be found on our website at www.droneradioshow.com. If you're using drone technology for business, fun, or research and would like to share your experience on the show, please visit our website and fill out a guest appearance application. And don't forget to follow us on your favorite social media channels.